gonna be in a big green suit. This big green suit tour. Big green suit. Hey, this next comedian, pretty funny lady, pretty smart, she's intellectual. So give it up for Miss Alicia Spitzberg.
My rhythm was perfect until that Chris Allen fella took 9 minutes instead of 8, and now I feel a little disjointed. But please bear with me. I come here tonight to do la comedia, which in Spanish means comedy. Anyway, and I see that that Mexican fellow, Glenn Martino, is insisting that our breakup was due to my foul breath. Which is funny, because when he met me, he told me I had the freshest breath he's ever smelled. And I told him, why don't you stop pretending you're an Italian and realize you're a Mexican? There's nothing wrong with that. I come tonight, and I see he's, as they say, rewriting history. So I want, when you meet me backstage to applaud me on my fabulous performance, I want you to know that I smell as minty as hell. But that was a segue into what I really need to say. Another comedian tonight was a dear friend of mine before this night, but things have changed. Made some fun of drinking smart water. You know, it was quite a clever bit. I used to be an ITT graduate before I started drinking smart water. And now, let's just say, I'm making 6 figures and the MC is calling me an intellectual. So don't be bad on that smart water. Now I must go to my fine material, which was interrupted before all that nonsense. Anyway, I'll try to memorize it, my friends. I will not tolerate silence. Anyway, I just read an article in the Sunday paper. Anybody here read the Austin Statesman Jr.? What is it called? The Austin Statesman? Yes, there was an article about heroin addiction. And it said the majority, or actually most heroin addicts are between 40 and 50 years old. And then there was a quote from a middle-aged heroin addict saying, "It feels like a shot of well-being." And I thought to myself, if you survive this life to 40 or 50 without turning into a Leslie or getting beheaded, don't you deserve a little shot of well-being? And for those who don't necessarily digest that as such, if you want to take a religious view, why did God create the poppy? Did God create the poppy just for a bagel? Or an occasional cake? So I'm here tonight, and I'm not old enough yet to be a heroin addict. I'm still buying into that living up to my potential bullshit. And I've come to the conclusion that if you want to live up to your potential, you have to be awake. To be awake, you have to... Is there some foul light? That was like 3 minutes, dear. I have corneal ulcers. Don't do that. Oh, why did I just tell people that? I don't want people to know that. I want to be dateable. I don't want people to think I have corneal ulcers. In God's name. What was I saying, dear? Oh, yes. So after the show we can talk, dear. I think we're clicking. Anyway, so to buy into that bullshit, the bullshit, potential shit, you need, pardon my language, you need to stay awake. So lately I've been understanding that coffee is a good way to do that. So I'm normally a Folgers instant coffee by myself in my room thing. None of that mochaccino, crappuccino, ding-dong bullshit, sitting in front of a laptop pretending I want to be alone. But But one day, because of not a very funny story, my mother had a cataract operation. I had to go out to a hospital or something, and I had to get coffee outside in the outside world. And I went into this coffee shop, and it was in Austin. It was called Trianon. So I went in there with my dollar, and I bought myself a normal, regular coffee. And I look over, and I see a little clear jar. And from what I understand, it was biscotti. And on it, one of the creative types of the coffee shop had written, fetch, had drawn a little dog with a stick figure with a little beard for some reason. And it said, fetch your own biscotti. Is that obnoxious or what? No. Anyway, so I walked off in a huff. And another time I was forced to go to Kid Coffee. It was called Rudamaya. Has anyone heard of Rudamaya? Yeah. And I went in there, and the stench of patchouli and after tantric sex sweat overpowered the coffee bean smell. But I didn't let it stop me, and I still bought my coffee. But I did learn, I always try to look at the good side of things, you know what I'm saying? So I did learn one thing from the coffee drinking Anglo hippies, and that is that Bush is worse than Hitler. Why? Because Hitler killed babies, but Bush eats them. Anyway, that's my anti-hippie sentiment showing. I don't really see any smelly, tantra-smelling hippies, so I don't know why everyone seems so offended. But anyway, dears. To meet my potential, I've started to do the lady comedies, which is what I'm doing tonight. And people say to me, isn't it hard for you? My name's Elisa, by the way. And they say, Elisa, isn't it hard for you to do the lady comedy? It's such a hard world, this comedy. And I say, you just drive to research. I just drive to research every Wednesday or Tuesday. I pick up a discount hitch. I go to the Weight Watchers. I look at because there's a discount hitch store outside, which is you should have. I go to the Weight Watchers to look at those fatter than I and feel better. And then voila, there's a stage here where I can show my commedia. But, and so being a lady comic is difficult because my experience seems to be very different from any other comedians. As a lady, like my guy, he says to me, Elisa, do I look fat in these jeans? And I say, honey, you don't look fat in those jeans. You look morbidly obese. And it's starting to get distressing because we have to constantly go to San Marcos to those big and tall shops. And frankly, you're not tall. And then he says, oh honey, you've really hurt my feelings with all that verbal abuse. Let's go cuddle. And I say, I just want to go hunting. And then he says to me, honey, on the way back from hunting, could you pick me up some double Dutch maraschino cherry dip with chocolate almond ice cream? And I say, bitch, stop being so cliche. So, as you see, okay, I think my time is up, friends. I have some wonderful Leslie jokes, but I think I'll have to wait for the next time when my fans return. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And use a Pittsburgh, flip-flopping it up. One more time.